afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking my question. I actually do have two. Your office told us that city officials were aware right away that families had stayed overnight at PATH, though they may not have understood the full extent of the legal violation that happened there. But now we're in possession of newly released data from the city that shows that on that day, the Department of Homeless Services said that 0 families had stayed overnight at PATH when they released that information to the public. So I guess my first question is, why shouldn't New Yorkers see that as another example of a transparency issue on that topic?
We were very clear. I stood at a microphone inside City Hall and clearly stated without any form of sleight of hand that 4 families should have been released in the time that was required. We were clear on that, and there's been no attempt to cover that up. And so I find it hard to believe that based on our candidacy, people are still talking about a story that we were clear on. We were clear. 4 families should not have stayed there. We continue to stand by that, and that oversight with those 4 families should not have happened. And we are doing everything possible for it not to continue to happen.
Mayor, just to follow up, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So several families have told us, without any understanding of the system or the fact that it was illegal, very clearly, using a Spanish interpreter, very carefully translated, that they spent multiple nights at the PATH. Many complained they didn't have food. Some said they only got maybe 1 placement for an hour or 2. They could go shower and come back, but that they spent days at a time. Are you still confident that families were only in PATH in violation of that mandate 1 night with 4 families?
That's the only report that we received, Melissa. We have not received any other report on that, and we immediately responded appropriately, and we're going to continue to do that. We are going to provide these families with the dignity that the Texas governor failed to do. That is who we are as New Yorkers. That is who we are as an administration. And I always like to remind people of the head of this operation, Gary Jenkins, Commissioner Jenkins, lived in a homeless shelter. And to give any insinuation that he's not compassionate about this issue, I just think is wrong. And I think that this is an insult to the hundreds of employees, city employees, who have committed their lives to dealing with this homeless crisis that we're facing. Federal government must do its job. We need help on the state level, but we're going to do our job, and that's what we have done, and I'm proud of that. Finish up this, because I don't. I'm wondering about. Hold on. We're not going to call out a turn. She's going to acknowledge you. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I'm wondering about, just to follow up on Tim Pearson, you said earlier that New Yorkers don't really care about that sort of issue.